Yes.
So if I make any changes, then what happens? What's the impact?
Angular CLI, if you make any change in the Angular CLI, right? See, here clearly saying index file would be the index.html. See, if you make here or here say main.html, your code will be failing, right? Because here you are saying main.html and here you won't be finding main.html anywhere, right? So it won't be creating that main.html and your project gets what you can say terminated, right? So this is what you can say project structure.
And here
This
also that Favy icon is showing. If suppose
fair icon, yes,
I
yes,
want to change, then I have to.
yeah, you need to write over here under the asset. So what it is saying that at the time of project creation, right, at the time of project creation I need to have these many files, right? So it is a scaffold kind of thing. So it is going to scan this JSON, and from this JSON it is going to generate this project structure.
Ultimately, can we do upgrade also? Upgrading also.
Yeah, you can see here I can write anything. You can say my dot logo, right? My dot logo, that's fine, that's not an issue, right? You can amend it, that's not an issue, right? So this is what you can say about your angular dot json. Now let me jump into the source folder where we are going to spend maximum of the time, right? See now here, so app folder is there. Wherever you are exactly writing the angular app, remember that angular app, I'm not saying website. Website and the app are two different things. Website is just one information page which is giving you the information, but this is doing some operations as well. This is a CRUD operation, CRUD, and that's why people are calling it as nowadays as app. Now assets, right? Under the assets what you can do is that you can require images. If you need some effects to be played, animation, FLV files need to be played whenever your app is going to be launched, that you would be putting under the assets. Needed images, keep under the assets, right? Now environments, see there are two types of the environments: production environment and your development environment, right? Now how you are going to opt to these files? So these are the files which are going to be selected as per the production, right? Okay, let me show you how you are going to do that thing. Just open this folder, open the root of your application into the terminal. Ng, you can say build, right? Ng, you can say build, and if I say enter over here, right, it would be building the project and giving me the distribution folder, right? And it would be giving me what you can say distribution folder. But here you haven't specified the environment, which env, right? Prod or the dev. There are two environments, ng build, prod or the build. Can you see dist folder has been created over here, and under the dist folder you are ready to deploy what you can say files are there. So copy these files as it is and put on your any website hosting. So that would be treating as same as your earlier websites.
So this is nothing but only package.
Yes, dist is a distribution package, right? Every jQuery or your JS generates the dist folder, and you copy the contents of the dist and upload it to the what you can say your hosting, right? Anywhere in the hosting. Now here you can opt for the environment, right? Here you can opt for the environment. You can say -env, and I'm going to say prod, which is nothing but the production environment. I have selected the production environment. At the time of generating the build, I have given the environment. See the command once again, ng space build -env. Which environment you would be needing? Say production. I would be needing the production environment that you have said over here, production or the dev, right? Whatever flag you are going to pass from here, that named file you need to create. Can you say environment.prod? So if you said prod ng build space -env and you have given the prod means this file is going to be get generated, or this file is going to be get selected, right? Otherwise this normal environment file would be getting selected, where production is equals to false, right, at the time of generating the build. So where you would be selecting the environment, you would be selecting the environment at the time of generating the build, right, at the time of generating the build. Remember this command, and this command will lead to selecting this file or this file as per the need, as per your this prod or dev flag, right? Okay, now file icon, whatever icon you see over here, that is nothing but the file icon, right? Then index.html, so this is your HTML, right, that Angular app needs, right? So this is one file. Now you are not going to touch this file also, right? So this to this is very normal for you. You have written this code many times, but this is something fancy for you. This much line of code is very new for you. AppRoot, this piece of code is very much new for you. What is this? And even this code. So I'll mark only those things which are new to you, this and what you can say this. Yes,
The base reference is for our asset directory.
from here it is going to start. See, it takes you right to the root of the app. See, if you can, right, it takes you to the root of the app. So first this is going to be started, this would be coming under the picture. So base means when you say localhost colon 4200 root, that is nothing but this, that hyphen is nothing but this, and you are saying when you get this thing, please load this, what you can say, start loading all the components from the root of this app, right, root of this app. That's what it is saying. Okay, then AppRoot over here is, so how your HTML get to know there is something AppRoot? By means of the base href. Base href takes you, see, if I select, takes you to the root of the project, right, it takes you to the root of the project, right, and from there it loads all the components. Remember that it loads all the components, this line. Okay, now what is this then? So index.html is there, that's fine. Then there is something called as, what you can say, main.ts. see, main.ts. so this is your TypeScript file, right, import, right, enable production mode, right, from which package? Angular core package. You are importing this one of the exported variable or the class from Angular core package. You are checking the value, so that value you are passing from what? Your build command, what? Build. So accordingly, if that is a production, then this method is going to be called, right? If that is a production, this method is going to be called, else directly this thing is going to be get executed, right? So Angular environment is given to you by, right, or all the environments you have, production environment, staging environment, development environment, all that environments are given to you by this class, something called as environment. See, this is the class that you have written, right? If you see the import statement current directory, in the current directory you will get the environments, and under that you will get one class called as environment. That's what you are telling over here. If you go to the environment.ts, export constant environment, and selection of the file is dependent on your build command, this command, right? Selection of the environment is the responsibility of your build command. Whatever environment you pass from here, that file would be getting selected over here from the environments folder over here, right? So suppose if you have staging environment, so you would be writing environment.stage.ts. If you have one more environment, stage 2, environment.stage2.ts. And if you say ng build -- environment stage 1, automatically that's environment.stage1.ts file would be getting selected. That's what over here. If it is not production, or if it is production, then enable the production mode, right? So this is the method from the Angular core package. If you can see, enable prod mode is the method of Angular's package, and other things means this, and this is yours. Okay, now platform browser dynamic dot bootstrap the module, right? So bootstrap framework and this are completely different. This is just the method, right? So here platform browser dynamic, right? So this is one of the method, right? Platform browser dynamic. Remember that Angular is not only for the browsers. Angular can be run on the any devices, right? At that time this method will get the underlying environment automatically, right? And here you are just saying I am going to begin with this class. So your index.html would be getting loaded. From here you will go to the app root, and in the app root you will enter into the main.ts file. Here you are going to check the environment, right? And by checking the environment you would be loading the main module of your environment. So that main module is written under the app module. That main module is written under the app module. Can you see where is the app module? See current directory, under the app folder, and app.module.ts would be the file. Current directory, right? Under the app, if you can see app.module.ts. See, this is that file. Means from the main.ts it has entered into the app module.ts. So first index.html. From the index.html it has entered into the root of the app. Into the root of the app it has, right, confronted with the main.ts, and from the main.ts it has entered to the app module.ts, and this is that file, right? So here it has written one class. So presently forget about this. It is a TypeScript class, plain TypeScript class, nothing is there, right? Even I remove this thing, plain TypeScript class they have written. Export means I am going to use this class in another files, right? I am going to use this class in the another files. That's what you are doing over here. So here you have exported, and here they have imported. That's what the significance of the export statement. Here you have exported, and here you have imported app module, right? If you remove the export, that will not work. You cannot import it. If you want to import into the another file, you would be using that thing, right? So export class module. So you say, what is so different in that? This is plain class, right? But this class need to be worked as a starting module. Now Angular module is consisting of, right, enlisting of all the components, all the services, all the pipes, and all the directives. Angular module is that class. Module is that class which knows list of all the components that are used in your app, list of all the services that are used, list of pipes, list of directives, etc., etc., that you have used in your app. So Angular module is that thing, right? And by that perception they have loaded, or they have written one metadata, right? They have used one metadata at ng module. See, it is like this. It is a class level metadata, or class level annotation if you are from the background of the Java or the C Sharp.net, right? At and this thing you call it as annotation. So what happens is that whenever you run the program, right, you have attached this metadata to the class, right? You have attached this metadata to the class, right? Or you have attached, in the terms of TypeScript, this particular thing is called as the decorator, right? Whenever you attach this decorator, this class gets some different meaning. This class gets what? Some different meaning. Meaning of this class is something different, right? So this module, this decorator, this annotation or this metadata says that this would be having these many components, pipes or other things, services or the directives that would be mentioned over here. This module is dependent on these third party modules over here, right? These modules would be dependent on these third party modules over here, and this module is dependent on these many services which runs in the background over here that you are going to mention over here. See, by the definition of the Angular module, it should be give you list of, what is this? This is array, means it is nothing but what? List of all the components used in your Angular app, then all the modules used or all the modules on which your app is dependent, then here all the services on which your app is dependent, and the starting component. What is the starting component for this app that you have mentioned over here? So ng module, if you remove this ng module, this is a plain JavaScript class. But when you attach this decorator, this class gets some another level of importance. This class would be treated as the module. So what happens internally? See, whenever Angular compiler or the TypeScript compiler checks this and it generates the JavaScript code, it adds few methods by looking at this decorator, by looking at this annotation. You don't need to write all that methods, just attach the needed requirements to the decorator, and from the decorator it will generate some, what you can say, another methods, classes and needed things into the app module class, right? So do not forget this sequence. Your browser, or where you will first enter into the index.html. From here you will go to the root. From the root you will enter into the main file, where you will find the startup module, which is nothing but the app module. From this app module you will enter into the bootstrapping component. This component would be loaded or rendered on your screen at the very first thing. So by the definition, component or Angular app is a hierarchy of the components. By the definition, Angular app is the hierarchy of multiple components, and parent of your Angular app is the app component. Parent of that hierarchy is the app component, right? That we'll discuss in the next tutorial. So keep watching.